The first range you want to talk about is that of our Android terminals, namely ZPay Plus and ZPay Plus RFID. They let you have such an easy management of your employees and users through a 7-inch touchscreen, verification modes that are multiple. I'm talking about especially fingerprint and dual RFID. Dual as in 125 kHz as well as 13.56 MHz. Our latest ZKTeco technology lets you be absolutely relaxed about the conditions of the fingerprints that users want to apply. And on top of that, don't forget that you always have the option of a front camera, a backup battery in case power supply is a concern, and Wi-Fi to avoid any kind of cable connection. About that, never forget that you can request the possibility of a 4G communication module in order to avoid any needs of Ethernet cables. Second, let's talk about our iClock series. That comes in 2 flavors, as you can see from the slide. 560 series and 680/880 series. What they have in common is the 3.5 inches display that lets you easily select the menu you want to manage, the multi-verification mode, again, fingerprint, dual RFID, and on top of that here you also have the password option. Third, the management of multiple events, but this time it's through mechanical buttons called function keys. Now, the difference is that should let you choose the perfect terminal for you is that of PoE power supply in order to have it just through your Ethernet cable without any other element to add to the system. And as for the 680 or 880 family, you can have a front camera to take a screenshot every time you have a punch from an employee, as well as an access mode function to have a relay that also opens the door in case that's needed. The third range you want to talk about is that of our visible light devices. Personally, my favorite. What we're talking about is SpeedFace and ProFace, both devices able to perform a verification through biometric templates such as face, palm, fingerprint, and then of course RFID, QR code, and password. Let me spend a few words about the palm technology because that is absolutely impressive. Imagine being able to perform a verification showing your palm to a camera at a 50 centimeters distance, or even more in case of other templates such as your face. Amazing, right? Incredible. Well, not as incredible because for us that's normal, and that's thanks to these 2 devices. On top of that, having been adapted through time to COVID-related needs, they also let you measure the temperature of a person, only if needed, remember that's only an optional, and detect whether the person is wearing a mask. Remember that nowadays it's still very common to have masks inside of buildings. Therefore, you might want to deny access to people who don't have it, or even give access to people that are not in your system, but that respect these COVID restrictions. And therefore, this is your solution. Last but not least, we have to mention the fact that both devices can be used not only for time and attendance, but also for access control. And again, do I really need to connect them through Ethernet cable? Well, no sir. You can very easily configure a Wi-Fi connection to have them work very far away from your router. Talking about a potential real case, what would be the difference between choosing a SpeedFace instead of a ProFace or vice versa? Well, let me give you this simple piece of advice. In case you have an installation that is outside of a building, you might want to go for ProFace exactly because of its protection degrees. IP68 against dust and water, and IK04 against vandalism. So my guess, you want to have a ProFace outside of the door. Last but not least, let's talk about our soon-to-be compatible S922. This is a mobile terminal that you can take anywhere to have your employees punch from any place inside your installation. Remember, it's not always very comfortable, especially in construction sites, mining sites, farms and factories, for example, to have to perform a time and attendance control without having a terminal installed on a wall because maybe you have no walls, or in an office because maybe you have no office, right? Well, in that case, S922 should be your choice. With its elegant design, orange or gray case, and IP65 protection degree, you can literally take it anywhere and expect your employees not to have any trouble punching their state. The event management is very easy, exactly like the other terminals we've talked about, and the verification modes are multiple. RFID, dual, of course, fingerprint, and in this case, password. As an optional, you can always request a Wi-Fi module or a 3G module. Again, to be able to take it anywhere without an Ethernet cable. And that should be everything. Or is it? Because actually, being a portable device, I still haven't mentioned that it has a backup battery to let it function for multiple hours during a day. So never forget that by charging it at night, for example, you can have it working all day long the next day in your installation without any further power supply needs. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you liked it, and we also hope that from now on you won't have any trouble selecting your terminals from GoTime Cloud. In case of further needs though, you can always get in touch with us through our email address or by phone. Keep following us for more updates about ZKTeco technology.